We are coming to you from Comerica Park in Detroit, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera, Avisaíl Garcia, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and the 9-2 Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, and it will be the rubber match. In the opener, Jeff Samardzija was just outstanding, as was David Price. They won that ball game 2-1. Then yesterday, something for the first time all year has happened, and maybe all over the last season. Chris Sale got 12 runs.
Most amazing, and the offense finally broke out of it, giving Chris Sale and the Sox a laugher. That's something you don't see very often, and it happened at 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. Melky Cabrera with a big day went 4 for 5. He scored 2 runs, and as you can see, drove in 2. Jose Abreu went 3 for 6. He had a grand slam home run. He drove in 4, and Adam LaRoche really helped things on the way with a 3-run homer. He went 3 for 5. So 2, 3, and 4 carried the load yesterday, but when you have that kind of offensive output, it helps the entire ball club, taking a whole lot of pressure off, and hopefully Adam Eaton can come to life today.
And hopefully against a tough right-hander who is 2-0.
Shane Green is a sinker baller, and he's been absolutely brilliant. He was acquired from the New York Yankees, who desperately need pitching, and Green has shown to be that guy. 8 innings each time out. He's given up 7 hits, no earned runs. He used 85 and 81 pitches to go through 8 innings in both of those starts. Actually, it's been remarkable, and no Tiger pitcher in history has ever gone the first 3 starts without giving up an earned run. So he'll be chasing that today, and hopefully, and we have a lot of low ball hitters, hopefully that sinker won't be sinking quite as well because we have some guys that can do something with it.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. Finale of this 3-game set. And this weekend's White Sox-Tiger series is sponsored by Chevrolet.
Is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to beautiful Comerica Park. Yesterday was Chris Sale day. He got a whole lot of offense, but he also threw the ball well enough to win easily, and Chris is now 2-0. He struck out 14, walked just 2 in 12 innings, covering the 2 starts. And yesterday, things were tough for him early, but then he settled down. His fastball was moving. He was getting it up there up to 98 miles an hour. Straight change was pretty good. The slider was better than the first time out. And so Chris Sale, the ace of this team, won a very big ball game for our Sox. They're 2-2 on this road trip. Coming home 3-2, it would be a monumental trip considering it started in Cleveland and ended with 3 in Detroit. Detroit, up until yesterday, had just the 1 loss. And talking to a couple of Detroit people, they were very surprised that Anibal Sanchez didn't have command of anything yesterday. They have never seen him get hit as hard as he was hit. And the middle of this order is capable of doing that to a whole lot of people, so we'll see how it plays out today. In the meantime, let's see how Robin is going to line up our Sox for the finale of this 3-game series on what now at least is a very sunny Sunday. Adam Eaton leading it off in center field with Melky Cabrera with a big day yesterday. Jose Abreu an equally big day, as did Adam LaRoche in the last 6 games. He's hitting .368. And all of his home runs and runs batted in have come in the last 6. Then it's Avi Garcia, Connor Gillespie, Alexi Ramirez, Tyler Flowers, and Micah Johnson at second, rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Jose Quintana. Well, there you see the Cub defense. So let's tell you a little bit about the Tiger defense. It's Cespedes in left, Davis in center, J.D. Martinez in right, with Castellanos at third, Iglesias at short, Kinsler at second, Cabrera at first. McCain behind the plate, getting his second start in as many days. And there you look at our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher. It is Shane Green on for his 3rd start. We told you in the open that no Tiger pitcher has ever gone 3 starts at the beginning of a season and not given up a run. So this could be historic for him. And he lives and dies with that sinker. We'll see how it sinks. The umpires for the game this afternoon: Brian O'Nora behind the plate, Alan Porter is at first, Jeff Ripperger is at second, and Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, is at third. So as Green takes his warm-ups, his fastball is 93-94. He throws a particularly hard sinker. It has a couple of different breaking balls. They're both variations of sliders. One is a cutter, one has a little more depth to it. And we'll have to see if the boys can get on the board early and put some pressure on Mr. Green. So they throw the ball around the infield. That means we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this 3-game set and the finale of this 5-game road trip. So far in the first 4, we are 2-2. We split the 2 in Cleveland, and we have split the first 2 here. So here's Adam Eaton, and before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Green, 6'4", 210 pounds, out of Claremont, Florida. First pitch, way off the mark, and the count 1-0. Clouds forming out behind the center field area. And there is a humongous front coming this way.
Well, let's hope it holds off and get the win in and get on a plane and go home. Green was acquired in a 3-way deal. The Yankees were involved last year for the Yankees. 5-4, 3.78 ERA and 14 starts.
3-0 pitch. And a full count.
Best time to get a sinker baller is the first couple of innings, because he won't have near as much sink early as he will later after the adrenaline burnout.
And he just did get a piece of it. Souvenir left side. Here at Comerica Park, 345 down the left field line, 330 down the right field line, 365 in right center, 375 in left center, and 420 dead away center. So as our leadoff man walks, let's check out our picks to click. Manjo, our director and the crew, going with Gillespie. Steve's going with Cabrera. Terry Hanley, Mike Williams, Eric Aldrich, Roger Clare, and I, we're going to go to the man who just walked, Adam Eaton. Here's Melky. 4 hits yesterday. 4 for 9 in the first 2 games. Takes ball 1.
So far, a lot of those sinkers have stayed up. That's much to the advantage of the hitter.
Two and 0 the count to Cabrera. Don't help him out.
Green had walked only 1 man in his first 2 starts, covering 16 innings. He's already tied that here today.
Grabs a strike for the 2-1 count. Just a decent lead by Adam. That ball's hit hard but foul, so the count evens at 2.
McCann wanted that on the outside corner, a backdoor breaking ball, and Green doesn't have real good command now. Got it low and in to Cabrera. You see where McCann wants it. He sets up away, but this ball is inside, and Green gets away with it.
That ball hit deep into center field, but Rajai Davis back in front of the track hauls it in for out number 1. That'll bring up our first baseman, Jose Abreu, 3 for 10 in the series, with his 2nd career grand slam coming yesterday.
Coming yesterday and putting things out of reach. A hanging slider from Sanchez and gone. 9 runs on 9 hits. Jay Sanchez in the 4th inning. Jose has really liked what he's seen of Tiger pitching because he's tormented them in just 21 games. Those are robust numbers.
Jacks it up and takes a strike.
Yesterday in the first inning, Abreu doubled right down the third base line. Castellanos, getting the start today at third, is playing well off the line, although he's very deep.
Fouls that one away, so Green on top now with the count of a ball and 2 strikes. Coming into the day, the Sox have walked 12 times in the last 3 games after walking just 8 times in the first 7. So he has been a good first inning hitter Last year, more RBIs than anybody in the big leagues in the first inning. He had 30 first inning RBIs. And he hit 360. One thing about pitchers, especially young pitchers, they love to have a couple of runs in the first inning. There's a little flipper in the right field, and he's going to catch it, and they're going to double him up. So not a good read by Adam, and that'll retire the side after half inning of play. Our guys nothing, and their guys coming back.
Rajay Davis leading it off, and he's torched Quintana. That's Ian Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Yoenis Cespedes, the Castellanos, James McCann, and not Julio, but Jose Iglesias. The defense, an ideal lineup behind Quintana, Cabrera, Eaton, and Garcia in the outfield with Gillespie, Ramirez, Johnson, and Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers with the start behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jose Quintana. Jose looking for his second win of the year. And this is a much different Tiger team in that they do have speed and they will run the bases, unlike most of the Tiger teams in the past. They really started the transition last year and have added to it this year.
So here's Davis, 10 for 26 against Quintana. Jose 2 for 7 in the series, comes in hitting at 261 with a homer, and he's knocked in 2. Outfield slightly to the right. Tigers hitting at 301 as a team, where our guys are hitting 241. Tigers with a 2.76 team ERA, where our guys have a 4.32. Oh, 0-2 the count.
Davis hit a home run in a 1-0 Tiger win at Pittsburgh, and I asked him if he's going to become a home run hitter late in life. He says, nope. The guy just hung it. I banged it. He said, but I'm not thinking about hitting the ball out of the ballpark. My job is to get on base. Pretty good pitch by Quintana. Just barely touched the outside corner, and Davis had to protect and was just able to foul it off.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a souvenir right side.
Good battling at bat. The 8th pitch forthcoming for R.J. Davis, who was with his 5th team. He also played with the Pirates, the Giants, Oakland, and Toronto during the course of his career.
On the move. 1 out. Well, that's all he's trying to do is just make some contact. That's what he did yesterday, leading off the bottom of the 1st against Chris Sale. Just a little duck snort down the right field line. And he came around to score.
Yesterday we didn't see Kinsler quite as aggressive on first ball fastballs, but that's very much out of character for him. He is one of the most aggressive, but certainly most aggressive on the first ball fastball. Off to a pretty decent start, and along with Iglesias in the infield, gives him a terrific double play combination.
He's just 1 for 11 this year against left-handers. Takes first pitch strike. Very quickly, 0-2. Sox hopefully will get this game in. Come on home. Ominous sky.
Entertained the tribe for 3 before Kansas City comes in for 4 without their closer, Greg Holland. If you didn't hear the news, one of the most dependable closers in all of baseball, Greg Holland, went on the disabled list with trouble with a pectoral muscle.
Alan Porter, an umpire first, says no. So 2-2. Another foul ball. Don't have any numbers on it, but it just seems to me that each and every passing year there are more and more foul balls. Full count.
Jose using a whole lot of pitches to get by the first 2 hitters. That's a man you just as soon face with nobody on base.
Well, in his last outing, he did the same thing. The more pitches a guy sees, the more dangerous he becomes.
He got this one right down the middle and hit a bullet to left field.
So here's Cabrera at 442, a couple of homers. He's driven in 10. Miguel, 3 for 6 in this series. Cabrera 7 for 20 lifetime off Quintana. Yeah, the 7 hits, 6 of them stayed in the park.
Cabrera became the 8th Tiger and the first player from Venezuela to win the MVP award, doing that in 2012.
High, foul.
Detroit is a team hitting over 300, led by Iglesias and Cabrera. That's Lorenzo Cain, who we will see on the next homestand. Before going to Baltimore, we'll take a look at Adam Jones, who's also on that list.
The 0-2.
That one is more into the runner. They probably have Kinsler picked off. Looked like Kinsler was leaning the wrong way. He absolutely was going to run. But the throw doesn't get him.
Off the outside corner.
Jose has given up 3 stolen bases in the early going. All of last year, only 9 steals against him.
Two and two the count. He gone. 2 down.
Nothing fancy here. It's 90 miles an hour and it's right down the middle. Cabrera just swings through it. You don't see that very often.
That'll bring up the DH. Victor Martinez hitting at 231, 0 for 3 yesterday. Did not play in the opener. And he is 7 for 18 lifetime off Quintana.
He also is coming off a knee problem. He had knee surgery in the offseason. And it's been giving him some problems. Yesterday, he just didn't look the same. He came in hitting .517 against Chris Sale. And he didn't hit the ball out of the infield against Sale.
Takes ball 1. Once again, hitters are much more effective against Jose from the stretch rather than the windup. From the windup, they're hitting 238. From the stretch, they hit 292. A little bigger lead there by Kinsler. That pitch foul back. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the first.
Tigers know that Victor is not 100%. He's got 6 hits and 26 at bats. All of them have been singles. Normally, he's one of the most dangerous guys around. Had absolutely a career year last year.
Next pitch will be number 26. You playing behind Kinsler. And the payoff. High foul in the seats.
Last year, Victor hit .335 with 32 homers, 103 driven in, and 33 doubles.
That came at a good time.
Did for him because he signed a 4-year deal at 36 years of age for $68 million. Timing is everything in life.
And chops that one foul.
It's going to take at least 28 pitches to get out his first inning, reminiscent of what Chris Sale did yesterday while giving up 2 hits and a run before getting out with ground ball from Victor Martinez and a strikeout of the other Martinez, J.D. Martinez.
Into left center field. They're going to hold Kinsler now on the single by Victor Martinez. The runners at the corners and 2 down.
About a 3-2 counts this inning, and the hitter's pretty sure that he's got a good idea. It's going to be a fastball or a variation of that coming. As you can see, he kind of comes stumbling out of the box, but knows that his team really needs him. And the pitch parade continues.
Here's J.D. with 5 homers and 10 RBIs. Had a home run yesterday. Takes first pitch strike.
Martinez's power this year, at least, is right in right center field, because 4 of his 5 home runs have come the opposite way.
Last year, hit 23 homers, drove in 76 after being called up from Toledo. Also hit .315. They've got some kind of 3, 4, 5, and 6 if everybody's healthy.
Castellanos is getting better and better in the 7th spot. This is just a real strong offensive team. But they do have those occasional bullpen woes, and that's going to even things out in a lot of games.
Be pitch number 33. Another full count. Had to load him up.
Since Tyler Flowers to the mound, Quintana has gotten ahead of each and every one of these hitters to the point where he's had most of them 0-2. Only to work the count to 3-2. That's not a good way for longevity in the ballgame.
There's a guy that's handled Quintana well. He's faced him 6 times. Has 4 hits. And half of them left the premises. Take strike 1.
Not a great deal of speed on the base paths. Or Kinsler can run.
No score here in the bottom of the first if you're just tuning in.
Alan Porter said he checked his swing. There's no place to put Cespedes.
One pitch. Right size, wrong shape. Thank goodness. 2-2. There's rain of other fans heading for some cover.
Wasn't supposed to be here quite this early, and hopefully it is a passing shower.
And another full count.
That's the 5th full count of the 6 hitters he's faced.
Sides packed with Tigers. 2 down. Well, the more hitters you face, the more pitches they see, the more dangerous they become, and it's 4-0 Detroit.
Second home run. Cespedes now has 8 runs driven in.
He is now 5 for 7 with 3 homers and 7 RBIs off Quintana.
That's the first career grand slam for Cespedes. It's pretty tough to keep nibbling and eventually get to 3-2 before, with no place to put him, you throw a very hittable fastball down in the zone. It was right over the middle of the plate and gone.
Castellanos takes ball 1. Pop up. Watch out, watch out. Now it's Brady who's going to take charge, make the catch. But a bad inning right there. Real bad. Goes full count to 5 guys, and the last one hit a grand slam. Chevy Blackhawks pregame live at 8 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. I got the shift on for LaRoche. Adam, big 3-run homer yesterday, put us on top 4-1. Comes in hitting at 242, 3 homers, doing an 8. So we got some work to do. We trail at 4-0 on that grand slam home run by Yoenis Cespedes.
Was a particularly good pitch, and Don Cooper talking with Jose.
Well, he's 2 different guys now.
He just wants him to be more aggressive.
It's hard to work that slow and go full on guys and then not light you up. You're going to get lit up. And there's a good way to start it.
Adam having a good series. Sees this sinker not sinking. We told you the first couple innings, you can hit the ball in the air against sinker ballers. And what will be ground balls in the 5th and 6th are either fly balls or line drives early. This is when they're most vulnerable.
Here's Avi. Yanks that one foul. Avi 2 for 9 in the series with a homer. That was the only run we got off David Price. Oh, and 2 the count. Yeah, he got a cookie there and couldn't do anything with it. Count remains 0-2.
Threw him a slider and it caught well too much of the plate. See, it doesn't do much, just kind of spins there on our Menards pitch tracks. We'll show you. Green got lucky to get away with one.
That's fair ball. So for the second inning in a row, they turn a double play. 2 down.
The only difficult part here is to get an angle. Steps on the bag and he throws it right over the left shoulder of Adam. Iglesias does the honors and goes as a 3-6 double play. And this is the way the shift should work if you're going to employ it. Keep your shortstop at shortstop, your second baseman at second, and your third baseman out in the outfield. And Detroit does it well, and the reason is the third baseman, in this case Castellanos, in the outfield has the smallest amount of ground to cover, and he only displaced one defender. Brad Ausmus, a very good major league catcher for a lot of years. In his second year here in Detroit, he's got a good ball club.
1-1 to count. Another easy inning, giving us a lot of space to hit in. Can't do anything with it.
Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jose certainly could use a very quick inning, a low pitch inning after 42 pitches in that first inning, and 5 3-2 counts.
Here's McCann. James McCann, 2 for 15 on the season, hitting at 133, 0 for 4 in this series.
Swung the bat pretty well at AAA last year, where he hit 295 at Toledo before coming up and catching 9 games for the Tigers. because they love his defensive skills. I figure he calls a pretty good game. He can block it, call it, catch it, and throw it. And for a backup catcher, that's all you can ask. But they view him as being something more than that down the road. Now the rain has stopped. The sun trying to peek through the clouds, and the fans moving back into their seats around the ballpark.
And that's into the gap. Ball gets away from Adam Eaton. That'll be a triple.
Again, had a grand total of no triples last year. And you don't expect catchers to do this too often. He was probably going to third anyway, but when the ball got away, as Adam tried to barehand it, third base became easily accomplished.
Infield in. And there's a very good chance this guy's going to get him in. Jose Iglesias, 3 for 8 in this series, comes in hitting at .457. Line shot caught by Abreu, so he does not. 1 down. Iglesias had a game-winning hit in the first game.
There's Dave Clark, the third base coach, former major league pinch hitter mostly. No chance for any advancement by McCann. But he makes a nice play.
Rajay Davis grounded out to Gillespie. It's 5-0. Rajay now 11 for 28 against Montana.
RBI number 3 for Davis. And he's going to do some platooning with Gose in center field. Through the drawn-in infield. Makes it a lot easier for hitters to hit because there are no angles for ground balls. McCann scores easily.
Gensler saw a lot of pitches before getting a 3-2 and lining it into left field to start off that 4-run first. Last time out against Cleveland, Montana had 6 3-2 counts against them. He's already had 5 in this game. Good lead. There he goes. And they weren't going to throw him out.
Going on first move, even with the slide step, Davis got a huge jump.
He's the only player in the major leagues with at least 30 stolen bases in the last 6 years. Each of the last 6 years. One out, one in. One on, 1-2 the count. They got him picked off. Bad throw. But he gone. That'll be a caught stealing.
One, 3-6. And if you are going to get picked off by that much of a margin, just keep on running. Maybe you can either one, outrun the throw, or two, get hit in the back with it. In either case, Davis is out.
Especially with a right-handed throwing first baseman. Two and two. Most pitchers to this day, because they don't hit, they still don't understand the importance of the count. And you got a guy 0-2. That's the most vulnerable he can be at that in that particular event. The next most vulnerable he can be is 1-2. The next most vulnerable he can be is 2-2. I mean, it's do the math. When you go 3-2, you let him right back into the at bat and maybe giving him a little bit of an edge.
He certainly has seen it graphically illustrated in the first inning. And that is a man you'd love to see lead off the third inning. But to do that, you have to retire Kinsley.
And the payoff pitch.
Another long at bat by Ian Kinsler. Ninth pitch forthcoming.
58th pitch. That should be a can of corn. But they come up with one, and they lead it 5-0. Five nothing. It'll be the lower third of our order. Ramirez, Flowers, and Micah Johnson to face the 26-year-old 6'4", 210-pound right-hander Shane Green out of Claremont, Florida. Claremont, just a little north of Orlando. In fact, Claremont, home of Joe West. Mr. Umpire. Chopper, 2 hopper.
Join us at U.S. Cellular Field for an exciting White Sox baseball season. The Pick 14 plan offers fans a flexible 14-game plan that features savings off individual game tickets. Pick 14 plans start as low as $110 per plan. For tickets or more information, visit whitesox.com or call 312-674-1000. The bad news about Green now is he's starting to throw ground balls. That means the sinker is indeed sinking, which makes it doubly tough unless he makes a mistake.
Last year when we saw him with the Yankees, best pitch was a slider. Now all of a sudden this year it's a sinker.
You got 2 types of sliders. They're both pretty good. He depends on that sinker, and he's gotten a few up. Sox hitters have not been able to take advantage of it quite yet. But he doesn't throw anything that doesn't move, and that's one of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing.
Two and two. Fouls that away, and getting back to the counts, the league average, including the good hitters, on 0-2, they hit 154.
Not surprising.
They hit 53 points higher on 3-2. High pop up. Kensler makes the call. 2 down. So here's Micah hitting at 190, 1 for 3 in this series.
Castellanos in very close at third. He wants to take away the bunt, but Cabrera is well back at first.
Well, we had a little over 33,000 in the opener on Friday. Yesterday had almost 40,000, 39,877. And today a nice crowd as there's a base hit into left field. So good speed aboard. And I'm sure it would have been even a little better because the forecast probably caused quite a few people to stay home with that 90% chance.
It was an ominous forecast.
Yeah.
Might have sold the seats, but there are some empty seats in the upper deck. Figure this one would be at least the match of yesterday's game.
Adam walked to lead off. We got to get Adam cranked up. Melky got cranked up yesterday with those 4 hits. Sox on base percentage in the 1 hole, last in baseball. But that will change. This little guy is a good leadoff hitter. Two balls a strike, 2 out here in the top of the third. 5-5-0 for them, 0-2-0 for us. Just a decent lead by Micah. That ball hit deep into left field, but in the seats. Get a good lead and go. Let's try to pick up one at a time.
In worst case scenario, you get thrown out, you lead off with Adam Eaton next inning.
Exactly right. So, I mean, you know, you got the fastest guy on the team. Get a good lead and go. Just got just a decent lead.
It takes a while to get the ball to first base.
There he goes. Safe. Now pick him up. Picks up his first major league stolen base.
That's going to be the first of many. Assuming that he starts to hit the baseball, and you have every indication that he will. He slowed down to look back and then accelerated again.
There's a chopper, backhanded. Nice play by Kinsler. And that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 5-0 Detroit. Milwaukee Bucks will join Neil and Stacy for Hometown Call. Playoff coverage begins at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. It's a 5-0 Detroit lead here in the bottom of the third inning. They're going to send Cabrera, Martinez, and Martinez.
The wind is a factor today. It's blowing in from left center field, blowing across toward the right field corner. Sometimes rather stiffly toward the Sox dugout. Going to hold up high fly balls to left.
First pitch strike to Cabrera. Struck out back in the first inning. Went to 3-2 and got one right down Broadway and just missed it.
pretty important that Jose right the ship and go deep into this game, because there are no days off till May 4th. And you don't want to wear out the bullpen if you don't have to.
He's picking up on Beltray.
Yeah, the first thing that Miguel did was point down to Alan Porter for the appeal. And he got it. You swung. There's your appeal. That's the appellate process here.
He was fun to watch.
He was going to flip it back to Jose. I would gladly take a scuffed baseball to throw to him because you'll get some extra movement. But I don't think Brian O'Nora would have appreciated that.
And the 2-2 pitch. Another full count. This is the 7th full count here in 2 innings. And this will be pitch number 64 coming up. So unless there's a West Coast turnaround, you can forget about going deep. Abreu makes a nice catch. He is real good on pop-ups.
And I think Micah Johnson is saying, look, I couldn't hear you if you were calling for it, so let me know, because it's an easier play for the second baseman. But Jose stays right with it. He is yelling. I just don't think Micah heard him. And that's not an easy play.
He is sneaky good over there at first base. So here is Victor. He had a single, scored back in the first. Takes a curveball strike. Taking some other scores. Mets leading the Marlins 3-1, bottom of the 4th at City Park. Atlanta shutting out Toronto 5-0, top of the 4th up in Canada. Oakland getting ready to tee it up against Kansas City. Had a little confrontation yesterday and the day before.
Well, Brett Lowry took out Escobar at second base on what appeared to be a force play and appeared to be a hard slide. Then Giordano Ventura threw at Lowry in the 4th inning.
And he hit it.
He hit him, and he was
got it.
He was thrown out of the game. So the interpretation of the umpire, it was intentional. And the young right-hander wasn't around to see anything more in that ball game.
Well, the warnings do not have to be given.
Nope.
As there's another curveball strike, and the count evens at 2. That's the umpire's discretion if he thinks it was intentional. Because I heard some people complaining because, well, what about the warnings before the game? There was none given. Well, they don't have to be. That's hit short into center field. It's going to fall. And Victor still very gingerly going down to first base.
He's able to get just the end of the bat on it. And as you can see, that knee's still catching on him. So he's 2 for 2. They haven't been hit all that hard. And every one of his hits are singles.
JD Martinez walked and scored. Souvenir.
Nelson Cruz signed as a free agent by Seattle, leading the parade in home runs. So JD Martinez and Adam Jones right there at 5.
That's into right field. At the edge of the track. you're a right-handed hitter in this ballpark, you got to be nuts if you've got any strength at all, not use those bleachers out there in right field. So here's Cespedes.
Here's an Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it came on a 3-2 count. He got one down and to his liking. Third home run he's hit off Quintana. That gave the Tigers a 4-0 lead.
It's 7-0. I think he's got Jose's number.
It appears that he certainly does, because he crushed that one. His third home run, he's now driven in 10. There was no doubt about either of them here this afternoon. So fourth home run replay. The man they got from Boston in the final year of his contract, he's going to be a free agent. He is making the most of it.
So here's Castellanos. Curveball strike. Cespedes 6 for 8, 4 homers, and 9 RBIs against Quintana.
Time to go to plan B, whatever that might be. Cespedes started with the Oakland club, and a lot of teams bidding for his services were offering him 6 and 7 years on the contract. The reason why he signed with Oakland is they would give him a 4-year contract. And he felt if he could establish his worth in 4 years, he'd be in line for a gigantic payday. So it looks like the plan is working out, as Cespedes will go on the market unless Detroit can find a way to keep him. But they got David Price and Cespedes as their 2 very coveted free agents at the end of this season.
Well, it wasn't like they were paying a minimum wage for the 4 years.
Nope.
Got another bomb off the bat of Yoenis Cespedes, and we're into the 4th. Not good. 12 yesterday. We have a good offensive team. But you got to start someplace, and we might as well do it right now in the top of the fourth. Cabrera, Abreu, and LaRoche. That's another area that the culture of the baseball game has changed. Years past, like in the 60s, late 50s, there's a little flare in the center field. It's going to fall, so a good way to start it. Even into the 70s, some of the best tips that hitters got were from pitchers.
I felt the same way. Some of the best tips I got were talking to hitters and what they look for in certain situations and then how to deal with it.
Right, just transpose it. And that's no longer the case. That's no longer the case. Pitchers can still get some good ideas from hitters. But today, hitters can't get any good ideas from pitchers. Because there's one and the third double play turned by the Tigers. Quickly, 2 gone. And the reason being is pitchers don't hit. They just don't know what hitting is about. If they understood more about hitting, they might be a little more effective on that mound.
So many guys do win their way through the National League before winding up here, or vice versa. They're going to have an opportunity to hit at one point or another. But if you don't have that mentality of understanding how to hit, even if you're a pitcher, you're probably doing yourself a disservice. Because hitters will tell you how difficult it is to hit in certain counts, and how difficult it is with a pitcher who works quickly where you can't get your rhythm at bat.
Well, I told you the story about I was struggling my first 5 years. All of a sudden, I was talking with a good friend of mine who was a 20-game winner. As he strikes him out, and we'll get back to that. We're into the bottom of the fourth, trailing big. Talking with pitchers in years past, and I'm not saying it was the key, but it certainly was one of them. As I said, I was really struggling my first 5 years as a young player, and we were talking after a golf round one day, and I asked him, I said, Ralph, I said, man on third base, I'm coming to the plate, how would you get me out? He said, you'd be easy. I said, well, tell me, why would I be easy? He said, I just show you a fastball inside. That would be the last fastball you would see according to the count. He said, then I'm going to go away with the breaking ball, another breaking ball, maybe come up high out of the zone with a fastball and strike you out.
Would that have been Ralph Terry by any chance?
Yes. And I said, well, what kind of guys do you hate to face the most with a man on third and less than 2 out? He said, I hate to face guys who don't turn the head of the battle. He said, as a rule, those guys are the ones that get it in. And all of a sudden, for some reason, that clicked with me. And the next year, as I said, it's not the key, but it was one of them. The next year, I led all of baseball in RBIs. And because I got a man on third base, less than 2 out, I just didn't turn the head of the battle.
That guided everything to center field if you hit in the air, or you didn't hit anything foul, certainly down the left field line.
Exactly. As that ball hit deep into center field. Look at the catch. Look at the catch. Mercy, a beautiful play by Adam Eaton. Wow.
Fortunately, that wind is really blowing straight in. Otherwise, that's well over the head of Eaton. As it was, the wind was able to hold it up, give him some time, and it is a long way to run here in the alleys. Cuts across, reaches up at the last instant, and takes a 2 or possibly another triple away from McCann.
So here's Iglesias. He lined out hard to Abreu, who was playing in with McCann on third. But that's an example of how the conversations were back in those days. You'd have conversations and ask pitchers, well, how would you get this guy out? How do you get this guy out? Why would you get him out? Why would you throw him that slider in that situation? And what it did is just gave you an approach. Had nothing to do with mechanics. It gave you an approach, an idea of when you went to the plate. Breaking ball, checks it up.
There's a very young, obviously a Tiger fan. You can't beat a face painter. Wonderful way to come to the ballpark.
Especially when you're winning 7-0. That's rip past Gillespie. This guy right now is on top of his game. His teammates are just raving about him at shortstop. David Price said he is the best shortstop that he's ever played with, the best shortstop he's ever seen.
Well, David is a terrific pitcher, and he appreciates good defense behind him. And this is the best Tiger defensive team we've seen. Not to mention the fact that he's hitting everything in sight. They expected the defense. He came over with that kind of reputation and those kind of hands. What they didn't expect was to see him stinging the ball as he has.
That's into right field. So 2 down. Well, it's the best Tiger team we've seen in a long time defensively. And you put Anthony Gose out there in center field. Now you're really talking about all the way around defense.
Well, they improved defensively by leaps and bounds. They also have more speed this year than they've ever had. So,
well, that equates in defense because of range.
And there's Gose, who can really go get him in the outfield. They rave about his arm.
Yeah, Jim Price said with Cespedes in left and Gose in center. And Jim Price is a longtime broadcaster and former catcher for Detroit. Says the best 2 arms in left and center he's ever seen on one team.
And he came with the franchise. He played on their '68 championship team.
He's a good catcher.
Very good friends with Mr. Ilitch, who owns the ball club. Who's a very good owner. And there's a look at one of the real characters of the game, Jim Price. Keeps showing up here.
He could catch. He could catch it and throw it. It wasn't real good with the lumber, but he could definitely catch it and throw it. Of course, when you got Bill Freehan, a perennial all-star in front of you, you're not going to get a chance to swing lumber very often.
No, they love Gose here, but they paid dearly for him. Devin Travis, who at last count had driven in 12 runs. Hit 3 homers. He's a starting second baseman with Toronto. He was the #1 prospect in the Detroit organization, but they felt they had a huge hole in center field, and they needed a speed burner to fill it, and he's done just that.
High pop up. Micah makes the call, has the ball. And they don't score. We're into the fifth.
May 9th as Mother-Son Night at the ballpark. It's a great opportunity to celebrate the family's biggest fan, coach, and cheerleader, our moms. In addition to specially priced tickets and parade passes, the first 10,000 ladies ages 14 and up will receive a Mother's Day tote. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/mom.
Obviously, Hill can't get it. And the count 0-1 here in the top of the fifth inning. 7-8-0 for the Tigers, 0-3-0 for our Sox.
Tigers have been around a long time, and they've had some great players and some great pitchers on this team down through the years. But no Tiger pitcher has ever started the season with 3 starts in which he has not given up a run. Green is getting close.
Tigers, just tuning in, have turned 3 double plays in this game.
One of the things that Green does very well, I love when he throws that sinker and runner into the right-hand hitters off the plate, because he usually does it ahead in the count and he can't do anything with it. And after backing him up, he uses his slider and wipes him out.
Shift goes on now for Gillespie, who grounded out to Cabrera. Takes first pitch strike. Oh, and 2 the count. Well, we trail by 7. We need some runs. So that means you got to have some base runners. Hits it right into the shift. 2 down.
That was the third baseman Castellanos way back on the grass. So it's the most unconventional 5-3 put out.
Yeah, he caught one yesterday in short right field. Here's Alexei.
Hot dogs at the ballpark. You can't beat them. We saw the big breaking slider. That's what he used to strike out Garcia, and that was the shorter, quick breaking slider, as he's used only 60 pitches with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Ball and 2 strikes. Come on, Lexi. Get yourself a knock. Full count. Tyler on deck. Well, they're going to give you a base hit by clearing out the left side of the infield. And you're trailing by 7. I think you should take it.
You should certainly make an approach to try to get it.
Yeah. And that's ball 4. So the second walk issued by Shane Green. And that'll bring up Tyler, who's popped up to Kinsler. Chopper left side. Glacius on the move. Gets it. Nice play. Nice peg. We're halfway home. We trail by 7. bottom of the fifth inning. It's a 7-0 Tiger lead. Grand slam home run by Yoenis Cespedes. Then they scored one. That was in the first inning. They scored one in the second, and then a 2-run homer by Cespedes in the third. And both of them bombs. So here's Cabrera. He is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a foul out to Abreu at first, who made a nice catch. Starts him off with a changeup.
Matt Albers is throwing in the pen.
This will be pitch number 90.
There's looking Matt,
who's been throwing the ball well.
They'd like to stretch him out and get a few innings from him whenever he comes in to replace Quintana.
That's deep. Off the top of the fence.
That's the second time in this series that Cabrera has hit one off the top of the fence. Just missing home runs twice. It is so difficult to get him to move his hands. Just the adequate major league hitter is going to move his hands on a changeup or an off-speed breaking ball, but Cabrera might move that leg, but he keeps his hands back, and then he just unloads, and he is astonishingly strong.
Well, that is the whole secret of technique. You got to develop a technique. I don't care what you do with your feet. I don't care what you do with your hands. So I'm talking about your legs, rather. Anything you do has got to be directed to keeping the hands back.
Yeah. If I saw a hitter, if I threw an off-speed pitch and I saw him move his hands back instead of forward, I knew I was in very big trouble. I see a lot of them stride, but they kept their hands back, were able to get a real good piece of the baseball. And that's what Cabrera does. He does it automatically, and it's just wonderful to see if you're not playing against him.
That's trouble. That's a fair ball. That's a ground rule double, so Cabrera will go back. Check that. He will score. He was on second. And it's 8-0.
First extra base hit of the year for Victor Martinez, who is hobbling around. But with 3 hits today, he's still destructive. This ball taken the opposite way, as you would figure that Victor would try to do. Just barely fair, so says Alan Porter.
Here comes Robin. He has made the call to the pen. So Quintana gets hit hard today. He departs, and we'll be back.
U.S. Cellular Field. It's prior to the game, and WGN-TV meteorologist Tom Skilling will host a special program focused on the weather, which will include experiments and a video presentation. Not a whole lot of guys like the weather more than Tom Skilling. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/WGN. Our Honda call to the pen is Matt Albers. He comes in with Victor Martinez at second, nobody out. On for the fourth time. His ERA, 2.45. Left-handers have yet to get a hit off him. Matt made the club as a non-roster player out of spring training. And he's got to stem the tide, get some outs. And if the offense can come back against a very tough Shane Green, Albers will have done his job.
Martinez has walked, scored, and gone out to right. Just a little low. So the count 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes.
J.D. Martinez has hit 5 home runs. 4 have come to the opposite field. And in this ballpark, if you're a left-hander or right-hander that goes the opposite way, you're in good shape.
Well, they get him, and that's out number 1.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and it's our Miller Moments, and it's Yoenis Cespedes. It's a grand slam in the first inning. And then a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. Both of Jose Quintana. He's crushed Quintana over the course of his career. That's 4 home runs and 8 lifetime at bats, and he's 6 for 8 against Q.
Want to know the count? Castellanos on deck.
Sale and Samardzija realize that Cespedes is probably a better off-speed hitter than he is a fastball hitter. Of course, both of them have big fastballs, and they really tied him up by taking away the off-speed pitches and just going right at him, especially up in the zone. And there's a look at the dynamic duo. 2 very good ball games in this ballpark against a very strong hitting Tiger team.
Three-one pitch. That ball hit into center field deep, but we got a man there. 2 down.
Tigers are going to stay right here. They're going to entertain the Yankees for 4 and then the Indians for 3. So for them, this is a 10-game homestand.
Well, again, it's a different looking ball club, except for one area. On the field, they're extremely extremely talented, both offensive and defensive. They have some good starting pitching, but that bullpen is still. As that ball inside out at deep to right center field. So he's going to get back in the second. As Martinez scores, and it's 9-0.
I talked with Wally Joyner about Nick Castellanos. Wally Joyner is a hitting coach, and he said last year he spent a great deal of time chasing pitches low and out of the zone. He said now he's much more selective. And this is a pretty good piece of hitting because this is a fastball inside. And instead of turning on it, rolling over, hitting it either to third baseman or foul, he inside outs it. He's strong enough. And he drives home his 5th run of the year on the 3rd double of the inning.
So a tough afternoon for Quintana. 4+ innings, 9 runs, all earned on 10 hits.
There's a look at Wally Joyner. He's got some outstanding hitters to work with. That'll really make you look like a good hitting coach. Like I'd like to be Mike Trout's hitting coach, because I think I can make him into one of the better hitters around.
Yeah, by just keeping your mouth shut.
Just by sitting exactly where I'm sitting.
That's exactly
and
right.
Watching him put him in the lineup.
That ball hit into left field. So a couple more across the plate, and they lead it 9-0. US Cellular Field. First pitch starts at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Nine nothing.
Somewhere along the line, Shane Green is going to start giving up some runs, but it hasn't been this year in 2.5 games. He hasn't given up anything.
First pitch strike. Micah has a hit and his first major league stolen base. That's coming back in the 3rd inning. Flashes that one foul.
Green commenting on his last 2 starts. Both 8 innings. one 85 pitches, the other 81. He said, all I'm trying to do is throw as many strikes as I can. And he can do that because he has so much movement that if he does throw strikes, you're going to find a lot of ground ball outs.
One out.
That time he just changed eye levels. And young hitters, older hitters have their problems, but young hitters, especially left-handed, you're swinging at pitches up and out of the zone, and you got no chance. So he changes eye levels. First 4 below the belt, and that one up and out of the zone for the strikeout.
Here's Adam Eaton, a walk and a ground out to second. Foul. And 2 down.
Pretty amazing for Shane Green. He's allowed only 1 extra base hit. So the enchanted starts continue. You have to figure if you lose Matt Scherzer and you lose Rick Porcello, and Drew Smyly left in the deal that got them David Price, somewhere along the line you'd have some rotation problems, but they filled in quite nicely.
That strike evens accounted 1. Back to the middle into center field. So the 2-out single.
Jose Abreu is today's T-Mobile game changer. He has the most 4+ RBI games. 2014 through 15, 6 of them tied with Mike Trout, just ahead of Chris Carter and Adrian Gonzalez.
Abreu takes first pitch strike. He's 0 for 2 today.
I have a feeling this is going to be the second extra base hit that he gives up this year, especially if he can get one middle in to Jose.
Abreu faced him 3 times last season. Was 1 for 3 with that home run. Had the barrel on it, just underneath it.
Changed eye levels again, stayed down with the first 2 pitches and up with the third.
Balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Ouch.
That was one of those running sinkers that didn't sink. It just was bearing down straight inside, and he fouled it off the inside of his left knee.
Oh, Brian O'Nora giving him a little extra time to shake it off.
I never did that, but I can't imagine it feels too good. You fall one off your knee ever?
Never. Not a few off my foot. Hit him again.
I think so. I think it just got a piece.
No. In fact, I never saw anybody in my career foul one off their knee.
We see it a lot.
The angles that these guys are fouling pitches off their body today are just incredible.
You know.
And that's out of play right side. There were guys who would foul them occasionally off their shin. And of course that would sometimes cause blood clots. But not off the knee. Or the inside of the thigh.
He shook off the slider. He's going to the inside fastball. Let's see if Jose can catch up to it.
Hits that one hard into right field, and it gets by. So here comes Melky. He's going to score. Got by J.D. Martinez, and it's a 9-1 ball game. There goes the scoring streak.
There goes the second extra base hit of the year. A sinking line drive. Green makes a mistake. Can wants it in. He gets it out away, slices it just under the glove of Martinez, who can't get to it. And then Melky's off to the races. The irony is yesterday that Jose was just a triple away from the cycle and had 3 at bats to go after it. Couldn't get it done.
And Adam fouls that one away. He's 1 for 2 at a single, leading off the second inning.
Pitch number 86 forthcoming. No action in the bullpen. Green has gone 8 innings in both of his previous starts. He's thrown more pitches today than he did in either of his previous 2 starts.
Well, he actually has had an easy time of it today. There's been no duress, stress.
None whatsoever. Just playing pitch and catch. Especially when you get 4 early and you keep adding on.
Softly hit. Kinsler's got him. But we get on the board. We go to the bottom of the 6th, trailing 9-1.
5th with Cinco de Miller, presented by Miller Lite. Come and celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Get to the ballpark early for pregame musical performance, Tex-Mex treats, and a postgame fireworks show set to Mexican music presented by Miller Lite. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Cinco.
Jose Iglesias will lead it off here in their half of the 6th inning. 9-11-2 for them. 1-5-0. Plus. I say 9-11-0 for them. They had stranded 2. We had stranded 3. Iglesias is 1 for 2. A line drive to first base that Abreu caught, and then a rocket double down third base line. Chops that one foul.
Iglesias comes out of a very productive Boston Red Sox organization.
Here you go.
He became expendable because they really love Xander Bogaerts. He was the heir apparent at the shortstop position.
So Iglesias 4 for 12 now in the series. And that's the first time he has struck out. Rajay, 1 hopper. Quickly 2 gone. Kinsler 1 for 3. Started off that 4-run first with a 1-out single. Takes strike 1 from Matt Albers. Make your plans to be with us starting tomorrow. First of a 3-game set against the Cleveland Indians. 7-game homestand. We'll have 3 with the Tribe, then 4 with Kansas City. Pitching matchups tomorrow night. Johnny Danks against Carlos Carrasco. Can you believe he is back out on the bump after that shot he took at Progressive Field? As that's knocked down past Gillespie, so the double. This is third 2-bagger of the season.
This ball was low and in. Kinsler turns on it. Drives it down the line. No chance for Connor on that one. We're going to face the Indians' best. Carlos Carrasco. Tuesday it'll be Trevor Bauer. And Wednesday, defending Cy Young Award winner Corey Kluber against Jeff Samardzija.
Cabrera fouls that one away right side. Cabrera 1 for 3. That double leading off last inning, and he scored.
That was a good sinker. That ball at 93 just dropped out of sight. Cabrera hurt his hand.
Yeah, that stings. We used to call it a stinger. Get a stinger in your wrist. Boy, those things hurt. like somebody sticking an ice pick right in the side of your wrist. So Honora's going to give him a chance to shake it off. And another one. And it'll retire to the side. We're into the 7th. 9-1 Detroit.
Is 3 strikeouts today by Shane Green. They've been pretty impressive. And the Tigers, last 4 Cy Young Award winning starters, started off with Max Scherzer in 13, gave up 6 earned runs in his first 3 starts. Justin Verlander in 2011 gave up 8 earnings. Denny McLain in 69 gave up 8 earned runs, and Denny McLain in 68 gave up 7 earned runs. Shane Green, 1 earned run in his 3 starts to this point.
Curveball strike to Garcia. Avi. 0 for 2. We've hit into 3 double plays. 1 a bad running base running play, double play in the first. Then a 3-6 double play in the second. A 5-4-3 in the fourth.
Cal Drabek listening in the pen.
If you're just joining us, they scored 4 in the first. Grand slam homer by Yoenis Cespedes. Added 1 in the second. 2 in the third. That was another bomb off the bat of Cespedes. 2-run shot. As that's going to go foul. They added 2 more in the fifth.
Alan Porter says no on the appeal. And the count goes full.
Alan Porter has developed into one of the better umpires in baseball. Yes, there is ball 4.
Hey, Sox fans, all season long, you score with Papa John's Pizza. The day after the Sox score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com with promo code SOX5 at participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
So they're going to put a shift on again in this situation where we need base runners. Here in the top of the 7th. We got one on, nobody out.
It's a relatively routine 4-6-3. As Connor hits one right into the teeth of the shift. Pretty easy after that.
Here's Alexei.
Ian Kroll is throwing in the bullpen. He's a hard-throwing young lefty
from Naperville.
Tigers got him in a deal, and they think he's got a huge upside. He is the last man remaining from that Doug Fister deal. Had a bad year last year, but they think he's got a good enough arm where if control ever comes to him, he's going to be very valuable out of their pen.
Three and 0 the count. So the second walk of the inning.
We'll see just how patient Brad Ausmus is with him at the 100 pitch mark. It's Gene Lamont to the left of Brad Ausmus and Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, to the left of Gene Lamont.
Tyler has popped to second and grounded to short. So we get a couple of walks that inning into another double play. 7th inning stretch. Tigers by 8.
third time. He worked in yesterday's game, pitched a couple of innings, gave up a run on 3 hits. And he's back at it here this afternoon.
So a good job by Matt Albers. 2 innings. No runs, 2 hits. No walks, a couple strikeouts. Throwing the ball well. Good movement.
He is that, and what Robin needed was a couple of innings. And Matt gave it to him. Let's see if Kyle can finish it up. And maybe the offense can score a few heading into that 7-game homestand starting tomorrow night.
Alex Avila will be hitting for Victor Martinez, who was 3 for 3 today. A couple of singles, RBI double, and 3 runs scored. But it's obvious that that knee is still bothering Victor. That ball hit hard and deep into right center field, but we got a man there.
Fortunately, Alex didn't pull it just a touch, because as that angled right center field moves out there at the 365 sign, that little angle right there kept it in the ballpark, and Avi was able to run it down.
Here's Martinez, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Nine runs on 12 hits, no errors for their guys. They have stranded 3. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for our guys. We have stranded 4. They have turned 4 double plays in this ball game. Oh, 2. And once again, a reminder, make your plans starting tomorrow night. First of 3 with Cleveland. Kansas City comes in for 4 to finish off that week-long homestand. And tomorrow night, Johnny Danks on the bump. In fact, we're going to run Danks, Noesi, and Samardzija out there. That's into left center field. Melky right on the edge of the track. 2 down. So we're going to run Danks, Noesi, and Samardzija. They're going to run Carrasco, Bauer, and Kluber. Big round of applause for Yoenis Cespedes. 2 for 3, grand slam homer, a 2-run homer. The only out he made was a line shot deep into center field. Touched on his contract earlier. That's one of the smarter contracts signed by an international player.
No doubt about it. And you know, he got $36 million for 4, so he averaged $9 million a year, which obviously is a good contract. But the reason why he chose Oakland was because they were the only team that wanted to go the short 4 years. And because of his age and his ability, he's going to get substantially more this offseason from somebody. And I know Oakland really missed him when they traded him last year. Can't blame Oakland for trying to stock up on pitchers to help them in the postseason. But the loss of Cespedes ground their offense to a halt. That one bounces up, takes the mask right off Tyler Flowers.
2-2 the count. That was a funny season last year. It was the tale of 2 seasons, really. He gone. 1, 2, 3 inning for Kyle Drabek, and we're into the 8th. Flip over to CSN Chicago for instant reaction, highlights, and more on Blackhawks Post-Game Live, presented by Hawk Ford.
We've got a new pitcher coming into this one, and it is Ian Kroll, our throwing left-hander. 45 appearances last year. That's what he's done this year. Left-handers have done nothing with him. Last year, the ERA was just under 5 in those 45 appearances. He's originally from Hinsdale. Shane Green went 7, gave up a run on 5 hits. He walked 4, he fanned 3. And he's pitcher of record in this one. Once again, the 3rd outing and the 3rd brilliant outing.
Fouls that back in the count. Hangs it 0-2. Little 6-1, 210.
Originally out of the Oakland organization.
Very quick release. And he keeps his foot on the bag. Nice play both sides. Iglesias and Cabrera.
Iglesias realizing he has to get rid of it quickly. The throw is off the mark, but Cabrera stays on the bag. Good call by Alan Porter. And a great stretch by Cabrera. Making sure he's able to, 1, catch the ball, and 2, keep the right foot on the bag as he stretches out toward the outfield.
So here's Emilio Bonifacio. Adam 0 for 2 with a walk, ground out to second, and a foul out to third. Takes first pitch strike from the Naperville resident. And the count 0-2.
Left-handers with arms like Kroll are going to be given a number of shots to establish the fact that they can get the ball over the plate. If you can get up there 95 plus. Throw with your left arm. Most likely have a job.
Just joining us, it's been a bad ball game. Very good go. Two down.
Sox fans, celebrate a special birthday or anniversary or host a business function in a Diamond Suite at a White Sox game. Diamond Suites can accommodate groups from 10 to 100. Single game packages include great food menus as well as beverages and parking passes. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/group.
Guevara fouls that one away. They scored 4 in the first. Tana started for us at 5 full counts in the first 6 hitters. That didn't take long. So goal. 1, 2, 3, and we still trailed 9-1. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Got Bonifacio, who stays in the game in center field, and J.B. Shuck checks into the game in left field. Gordon Beckham at third. Connor Gillespie slides over to first base.
It's Castellanos. Nick is 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Eight extra base hits for the Tigers in this game. Five doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs. One and 2 the count.
Good straight change from Drabek. Castellanos way out in front of it.
checking some other scores for you. Bottom of the fourth at Target Field. Twinkies leading Cleveland 3-1. Top of the fifth in Kansas City, 1-0 Oakland. After 8 in Canada, Atlanta leading the Blue Jays 5-2. Top of the eighth in New York, Mets 7, Marlins 4. Yankees leading Tampa Bay 5-3 down in St. Pete. Yankees, of course, will be coming here. Start a 4-game set against the Tigers tomorrow. Full count.
We saw Nesbitt yesterday on Hill. Nesbitt, he came on for an inning and a third. Scoreless baseball. He's loosening up again.
Chops that one foul. Pirates leading Milwaukee 5-2, top of the seventh in Pittsburgh. Nasty Nats shutting out the Phillies 3-0 in Washington. That's in the bottom of the seventh. Angels taking on the Astros in Houston, tied at 2 after 4. Baltimore 5, Boston 3. That's in the bottom of the fifth at Fenway. So the leadoff walk. And here's McCann, who's tripled, going out deep to center, with Adam Eaton making a beautiful catch. And he is lined very hard to left field and deep.
Tigers really like him, thinking that eventually he'll be their #1 guy, and they do believe he's going to show a lot more power than he's shown. We've seen some of it here today. Sox did draft him a few years back in the 31st round, but he did not sign.
Oh, 2 the count. After 4 innings at Wrigley, Padres and the Cubs are tied at 2.
And Jennings loosening in the pen.
Hook, he gone. Second strikeout for Kyle, and that'll bring up Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, who's 1 for 3. Had that double back in the 4th inning.
Never too early to learn how to use. It's like an iPhone. Sure, figure that out. Should take you about 3 months to use it better than I can.
Oh, 2 the count to Iglesias, 25-year-old, good-looking shortstop. Minnesota now leading Cleveland 4-1. Game in the top of the fifth at Target Field. Alexei, 2 down. Now back to the top of the order with Rajay Davis, the center fielder, who was 1 for 4 with an RBI single.
That's throwing a pretty good curveball today.
Ball one to Davis. Two and 0 in that Baltimore 5-3 lead over Boston, top of the 6th inning in Fenway. Jones has hit his 5th home run. 2-run blast in that game. Alexei. He does keep his foot on the bag, and that'll retire the side. So 2 good innings by Kyle Drabek.
Bet on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected all season with the MLB.TV Game of the Day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay previews, radio broadcasts, and more. New features include StatCast tracking videos and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at BAT, the #1 app for live baseball.
First pitch to Beckham, taken for a strike.
Angel Nesbitt, who comes into the ball game for the 2nd time in as many days, on for the 4th time. He has yet to give up anything.
24-year-old out of Aragua, Venezuela. 1-1 to count. Boy, if you miss that game, the opener, Beckham just absolutely made some sensational plays at third base. Saved 3 runs, but we lost it 2-1. Ball hit hard for a base hit. Gordon starting to look exactly like he did when he first came up.
What's the great part about what he's done is there are many days when he gets just a look defensively, other days when he gets just one at bat. He gets the occasional start, and it's tough to stay ready in a situation like that, but he knew exactly what it would be coming in, and he's swinging the bat very well, as well as the defense, which is always there anyway.
Excellent move by Rick Hahn. So here's Adam. He's 1 for 3 today.
Gordon now 5 for 13 this year. This is 9th game.
Even more than that is the at-bats he's had. He's had good at-bats. He's hit the ball real hard. Big gap out there in right center. Grabs the strike and the count 1-2. Come on, Adam. Let's score a couple and make it a little nicer. Plane ride. Kinsler. 1 out.
Join the free WhiteSox.com blacklist for exclusive White Sox content all year long, including news and video updates, ticket offers, breaking alerts, and more. Visit WhiteSox.com/blacklist to register today. Omar Vizquel, who is the first base coach and infield coach for this Tiger team.
No wonder Iglesias is playing such a great shortstop.
He came over with a lot of skills, but he is also being helped along by a man with as good as skills maybe that ever played the game at shortstop.
Well, if he wasn't, he was certainly right there.
And he did it well beyond what normal middle infielders do it age-wise.
Well, I've seen some great double play combinations. One of the best in the last 50 years, of course, was Campaneris and Dick Green with Oakland. But the best I've ever seen, Roberto Alomar and Omar Vizquel. The 0-2 pitch. Two down. And you could go way back to 1960. Pirates had a pretty good double play combination of Dick Grote and Bill Mazeroski. So here's Gillespie. He is 0 for 3. 3 ground balls. Got into the first, got into the third, and then hit into a 4-6-3 double play. $30,357. That's out of play left side. 9 runs on 12 hits, no errors for Detroit. A run on 6 hits, no errors for our Sox. Hit hard but foul. Right side, wrong shape. And once again, a reminder, tomorrow starting a week-long homestand. 3 with Cleveland, 4 with Kansas City. So make your plans to be with us. Johnny Danks tomorrow against Carlos Carrasco. Can't make it to the ballpark. That game will be over WPWR, channel 50. One and two. Tuesday, we're going to run Noesi out there against Bauer. And on Wednesday, Samardzija against Corey Kluber. And both those games will be right back here on Comcast Sports Center. A big week of baseball. 1-2 pitch. And this ball game is over. So it was a game that Jose Quintana just had a tough day.
Yesterday, the Sox put one away early, and it was no contest. And today, it was turned about as fair play as the Tigers put this one away in the first inning, and there was no looking back.
And our player of the game is Yoenis Cespedes, a grand slam.